And
Welcome everybody to one of the best crossfires of all time already with that harmonic. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Listen, guys.
I wish somebody would break that fucking thing already.
I know that's what I said, but yet Enrique keeps sending new ones to crap weekly.
Yes.
That being said, right, let's get into it, guys. We have a great show tonight. It's not going to be an awfully long night. It's a hot summer here in New York. We've got a lot going on, but I do got to get to the one, the only, a crap gamer. Crap, how the hell are you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm lighting up my cigar as we speak, just to
go ahead.
Say, piss on you, Microsoft. What the hell is wrong with you? God,
that's your right.
Yeah.
You can light up.
It pisses me off. Look, games are an art form, right? Let these people do what they want in the game. It's like nobody's going to start, the game's rated M for mature anyway. Nobody's going to see Marcus Phoenix smoking a cigar and go, holy shit, let me go smoke a cigar and be cool like him. Like, that shit doesn't happen, Like, kids back in the day, like my parents, watching John Wayne and Gunsmoke, they didn't go buy 6 shooters and start shooting shit up.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, people are smarter than that. Stop with the censoring stuff. Stop with this kind of stuff. Hey, by the way, like the video, share it out, all that kind of stuff.
Appreciate that.
Hey, let's curb stomp and pop their heads off. But hey, no smoking.
That's the maestro says here. He goes, curb stomping's okay, but not smoking. Let me go to Xbot448, who has just recently in the past week completely been dedicating his Twitter channel to vaping. So Xbot, welcome to the show tonight, buddy. Great to have you, the smoke expert, actually here tonight.
What is going on, everybody? Yes, that's right. No doom and gloom, Xbot448. And let's be honest here. What's the big deal about not smoking? We see signs everywhere, all over the place. No big deal. Let's just keep it moving, people.
But it doesn't sit in your house. Nonetheless, let me get to my 2 special guests that I have here. Enrique from BRAP. Enrique, always great to have you here. How the hell you doing?
Oh,
sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. Sorry, I just quit smoking today. Gears 5 said no smoking, so I just want to just put that out there. I quit smoking those Camel double wides and those Marlboro Red. Yes, and I want to say, Xbot, you're next. They're coming after you, man. I'm telling you. I've seen the commercials for vaping already, man. It's next. You know what's crazy?
It's a conspiracy, buddy.
We live in a world where you can chainsaw someone, but you can't smoke a cigarette. That makes no sense to me.
It really doesn't, and I'm really chomping on the bit. But before we get into that, let me just introduce one last panel member here. I've got my buddy Dark Optimus. You know him as Dark Goldblum. Goldblum, how the hell are you doing tonight?
I'm good until I heard about the news about fucking Gears, and then I was just like, "That's a big pile of shit."
Oh, there he is. Goldblum's found a way. How great! Crap. Let me go. Everybody's so opinionated, guys. Chime in. I'll start with Crap Gamer though. Crap. Listen, here's my thing. Personally, it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me. But it bothers me because why is it they're telling us this? Why are they forcing this? It's a part of the game. It's a part of the series. It's a part of the franchise. It doesn't even really matter. But at the same time, by yanking it out, does it make it feel like you're going to now notice it's not there?
Well, I feel like this was a stupid thing for them to even talk about. Stupid thing to do. There was already rumblings like this is like gone total social justice. If you look at what Microsoft that they do, they're very political correct now. The people they hire, just what they're doing. So a lot of people, and again, and I've stated this before, we don't know for sure that the move to Kate was organic or not. We'll know after we play the game. If it seems forced, we'll know. Like it'll be obvious, right? If they did that, they did this with Halo 5. Shannon Loftus is like, yeah, we even got women in there now. It's like, God damn it, people want to play as Master Chief, right? Like if you want to like shoehorn somebody in somewhere, like make your own specific game with a strong female lead or whatever, right? Like you don't have to like ruin the party for everybody else with this shit. Okay, so I'm not saying I know for sure that that's what's going on here, but it does seem almost like a little bit of social justice going, just like that whole Battlefield 5 thing.
They're trying to get positive PR, man.
They're like positive PR, dude. They're getting negative PR.
Well, dude, from you and stuff like that.
Go look. Who is
who the hell is making a big deal out of no smoking in a video game?
You want me to send you're like out of the loop with what hardcore gamers think and what and this is a hardcore game.
dude, no.
Make no
'cause
mistake.
I am indeed a hardcore gamer myself.
Are you
so
okay?
can't
So
really
so
say
so
that.
let's go take a look, shall we, at some of the comments in one of these.
Let me ask Xbot this while you're looking those up, Crap.
Yeah.
And Xbot, you're a huge fan. It's me and Dark Goldblum were talking about it before the show. And I believe his name is Sergeant Johnson, has always had the signature cigar in his mouth in Halo. If that character is chewing Wrigley Spearmint gum, is that the same to you as a cigar? I mean, it takes away from the essence of that character, right? That's his shtick. That's his thing.
At the end of the day, all right. At the end of the day, when it comes to Sergeant Johnson,
Right.
that's not what people loved about him. The cigar. in
No,
his
but it was
mouth.
part of the character. Like
Should
Tony
they be-
Soprano
and here's
had a
the-
cigar all the
accentuates
time.
his
Well,
character. dude.
Should they be censoring
If
this
you're
stuff?
gonna
Though?
ask you a question, man, I'm gonna have.
No,
to
go ahead,
answer
Xbot. Go for it.
guys.
Go for it.
Like, when it comes down to it, what main Gears guy has a cigar in his mouth?
Dude,
What
I
main-
remember multiple Gears
What
characters
main?
have
I'm
cigars
saying
and things
what
like that.
main? What main?
No,
Gears
you're
guy
right. You're right.
has a
No,
cigar. So
there's-
why
there's
the
not.
hell is this such a big deal?
It's a big deal for
It's
the reason
not-
I just said it. It's
It's not about the
multiple.
smoking.
It's the
about
censorship. It's the
censorship.
yeah, you know, because if you
I
look
think
at
it's more the
It
pile
was
on.
a choice at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
well, and it's a choice that, you know, like we're living in a world now where everybody's trying to censor every little thing, and I think that's
But you
that's
said
getting on
but you
people's
said it right
nerves.
then and there. When it comes to smoking, now here's the deal. And for people who don't know, all right, I am 40 years old. I was smoking from the time I was 16 until the time I was 38. And then you know what happened when I was 38? I was diagnosed with cancer. All right. So the deal here is whatever doesn't promote
That's true.
smoking, I am down with.
I get what you're saying, but listen,
There's
it's
no
an M-rated
but.
game. It's an
There's no
there
but.
is. It's an M-rated game. Nobody is going to pick up smoking from playing this game or watching a TV show.
Dude, we don't know,
you know, it's
anything when it comes to
well,
censorship.
we
We don't know
we
if it was
do.
forced. We don't know if it was forced. You know, if Coalition was like, no, we need to have
Actually,
cigars.
it was forced. It was actually forced.
How do
Yeah,
we know
but
this?
Because it has to do with Turner Broadcasting their E-League and the eSports division, and them not like being about smoking, and that's why they're doing it, because they are basically piggybacking off this initiative to
So
not
at the end
promote
of the day,
smoking.
they had a choice between what they were doing with Gears and E-League and taking it out of there. So
Yes.
in all actuality, it wasn't forced by Microsoft
No.
or Coalition, but by a third party. when
Why
it
are they
comes
allowing
to-
it to mess with their vision?
Dude, because smoking is not a pivotal part.
I understand what you're
Gears.
saying, but again, it's not necessarily the smoking. It's the changes all around.
Yeah.
Look,
So-
Halo,
so-
if you just look at what Microsoft has done lately with their franchises, right? They shoehorn characters into Halo 5 to lukewarm reception, and now they're like, oh shit, people really want to play as Master Chief. Maybe we should go back and do that, right? They give us 3 incredibly boring characters in Gears 5 or Gears 4, and now they're changing that. And there's people, and again, I'm not saying that it's this. I won't know until I play the freaking game. But a lot of people are. There's whispers that the reason. Hold on. Let me finish. There's whispers that this was a movement to get a woman out in front, a la Captain Marvel type situation in Gears. Which, if that's true, then shame on them for shoehorning that. I don't know that it's true or not yet.
Wouldn't you love to get in the
we
head of
will.
the person who might be the next queen?
We
Like,
will.
in that
well,
whole thing?
We'll know. I mean, look. Here's the thing.
I mean,
When I played-
that's
when
why
I
I'm
played-
excited for
here's
the
the
story.
thing. When I played Gears 1 through 3, man, those were some phenomenal games. I felt like a connection to the characters. They were funny. You know, you felt
I
bad for
agree.
Dom when he lost Maria. I
Yes.
felt
Maria!
yeah, I felt squat. JD, I don't even remember the last guy's name.
that's
Like
the-
JD,
that-
Kate, and whoever the other guy is. I don't know. It's just like with Halo 5. It's like Master Chief and Locke, because they shove Locke down your throat in a little slap fight that they have, and then you don't even remember who. Like,
But that's
Buck,
the
I
thing.
remember
Kate
him,
I
but-
personally like Locke.
Kate was kind of like the better character out of the 3 that were in Halo. I mean, in Gears 4.
Hey, Mooch,
So-
hashtag say
so it's
where's
like-
JD?
Yeah, hashtag who's James?
Hmm.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Like,
But, you know,
he wasn't
But-
like, he was kind of a shitty protagonist. to
This
be
isn't,
He
honest.
was a
just
shitty
to
protagonist.
this isn't just to Xbot. It's my question to
They all
everybody.
were.
It's kind of rhetorical, but hear me out for a second, guys. I understand what Xbot said, and Xbot, you made a hell of a point. I really
Well,
think you
Mooch,
did.
I had one more.
But can I
example.
let me ask you a question, and then you take the mic.
All right.
It's rhetorical, so you don't even have to answer. You can go right to your point.
All
But smoking, we didn't find out smoking was bad 6 hours ago, right? So
No.
why is it in Gears 4 they didn't pull it?
You know,
Because-
this generation, the time we live in now is and crap, you might not like this. It is an age of inclusion. All right, an age where a certain paradigm is being changed now, right before your eyes, and it's no different than back in the day when it came to TV shows. You remember the Honeymooners?
Absolutely.
Remember bam, boom, right to the moon, Alice, and
Right.
and it changed because they didn't want to promote that out there in terms of domestic violence and stuff like that. That's the age we're living in now. You might not like it, but there is going to be inclusion, and I feel that there is going to be some really incredible stories. Like when it comes to Kate, I want to see what's going on in the person's mentality. When it comes to what could possibly be her future, and what's going on with her friends and her family and stuff
fine.
like that.
Well,
And that's what it's
can I
going to
chime
be
in real quick?
about.
yeah,
Go ahead, Enrique. Go.
Yeah, this has all been brought about Truth Initiative, which is the nonprofit group which has been anti-smoking, anti-vaping, by the way.
Yeah,
So
I know. They're backed by the tobacco companies. As
yeah,
well.
and well, but still, this is something. I tell you what, this would not be an issue had we seen campaign footage. I'm telling you right now, would not be an issue.
probably, yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, all joking aside,
You think so, Enrique?
had we seen campaign footage, everyone's like, you know what? Who cares about smoking? I've seen the campaign.
Yeah,
It looks
that is
great. I
That's
don't
a good-
care. I mean,
That's a good
seriously.
point. That's a good point.
because look,
People got something to complain about, right?
there's people out there that think they're not showing campaign footage because they're worried of the SJW backlash and things like that, which could be true. Listen, you laugh at that stuff and you go, oh, we're in an age of inclusion and stuff, but there's still a lot of games out there that do their own thing. And I can give you a good example. Mooch, we've had this guy from Warhorse Studio on here multiple times.
Oh, yes.
They didn't give in to that bullshit. And
No.
there's always going to be people that don't give in to that bullshit. And I will buy and support those games that don't, and I will not buy and support the games that do. So I have to say this much, right? Battlefield 5, for example, they said, we don't even care if you buy our games. We're going to do what we want, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Like, worst selling Battlefield ever. People spoke with their wallets.
Actually,
like
it was the
this-
worst playing Battlefield ever.
Well, yeah, that too.
No,
But I mean,
no.
look, like that you have that. Like people, I'm telling you, this has all the major like perfect storm elements in it to bomb for Microsoft.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Like
Not
I get
good.
I get a feeling that this could be an epic, and I might be wrong, but I get a feeling that this could be a huge failure. There's no hype. There's
The bigger
no
issues are some of the things like what Enrique said when it came to marketing, not who has a cigar in their mouth or the lack thereof. If you're going to talk about something when it comes to Gears, those are the more credible things.
I think we got to step. I think we need to step away. This is the instance that we're talking about tonight. Is the smoking? I don't think it's the smoking. I just think that what's happening here is Microsoft is they've got a plan, and their plan is going to go
PR.
forward. Right. And that's the thing. I think it's because they're forcing. Like there's no. Here's the thing. You're Xbot. Both sides. I want to say this very clearly to everybody listening. Both sides, whether you're talking about you're in favor of the smoking being in it or out, you're both right. Where I think the error is taking place is the fact that Microsoft, after four games already in this genre, now they're pulling it and now they're saying it.
But they're kind of being forced to by another company.
No,
like
they're not. They don't have to do
No,
this.
they're
though.
definitely not.
They're doing this because they're
Came out
trying
of
to push
EA.
esports with this game, though, and that's
Yeah.
that's the thing that like only
But
for
that's
me.
the thing. Like Gears' multiplayer hasn't been good since Gears 1 anyway. So it's like, why are they even
I
trying
might disagree
to?
with
That's an
but-
opinion.
You know,
Shut- let
like-
me just. I like to
But
reiterate this. Every once
they're
in a-
pushing the multiplayer narrative. That's my point. Like, I think that's why
I agree- I
they're doing
agree
this
with you,
because
multiplayer,
they want
like-
that esports coverage.
Let me just shout out to some literally his name is some guy in the chat. He's some guy. He goes, "This is a
Some guy.
non-issue. Who cares?" Some guy. First of all, I don't know if you're into sports, but like I mean, you have to talk about like when there's the All-Star game that's going on right now. There's no like when you have that All-Star week. There's no games night after night after night. But if you tune into SNY or the Yankee Channel, or if you're a Red Sox fan, whenever you tune into your local area, okay, they're talking about other things that are going on. Maybe the trade deadline. This is a gaming talk show. So I don't understand how this is the news
that what
for the
this is?
week, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're talking about the news that's going on for the week. It's not that it's a non-issue; it's actually very relevant. You've got every gaming media outlet running with this story, so it's not a non-issue. It's being discussed quite a bit, actually.
You know what I was
So
watching,
I don't
guys?
get that.
Gears of War 3 War Pigs trailer. That was a fucking epic
Yes.
trailer, you guys.
Yeah,
War
have
pigs.
we got?
You
Yes.
got
We got a trailer
bodies
for
burning
Gears
in the
5?
sun. Like,
No.
holy shit! What a fucking
Yes.
great! What a great! Not only that, but you guys remember when it was called Gears of War when they weren't afraid to have war in the title?
Yeah.
Like they removed the
Yeah.
title war because what? They're afraid of the title war. Like
Dude.
so they can pimp out their game to Funko Pop. You know,
Yeah.
like this is the Microsoft we're dealing with. It's like people can spin it however they want, but make no mistake, Microsoft is. Look at who's running the Gears campaign. Her name's Nikki Twit on Twitter, right? That's the person running
I like that
Coalition.
name.
Yeah,
Hey, Crap,
yeah,
crap. You know what's funny? You brought up Shannon Loftus earlier,
yeah.
and Shannon Loftus is basically, I mean, she's basically banned for like we have not seen her on Twitter since she called someone a fat ass.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's funny about Shannon Loftus. Like, really, like you guys are like all worried about smoking, but you got Shannon Loftus who's on Twitter like basically flaming people like it's going out of style. So I
Guys,
don't
We'll
know.
just say shout out to Shy Guy in the chat real quick. He says they could have easily told Kate's story through Marcus's eyes instead of making you play
Can
Kate.
they- can
Stop
they
changing the protagonist we've grown to love. And then I've got one more here from Mr. Twister. He says the result of wanting to be everywhere, get used to it. I'm gonna have to break out my Ovaltine decoder ring for that
Yeah,
one, Mr.
dude,
right?
oh, yeah,
And I
What the
appreciate
hell was that?
I appreciate the super chat nonetheless. Go ahead, Xbot.
One thing I will say, and this is something on Microsoft's side, and people in the chat might disagree with me here, but they have definitely tried to ride that politically correct horse way too hard on a lot of things, guys. I know the gaming industry is bigger than movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what made it that big are is the fun factor in it. Because when
But
I
it's
go
all
out,
of it, Xbox. It's the fun factor. It's the gameplay. It's the character development. And part of that character development is what the character's doing on screen. And again, I'm not just depicting the smoking. It could be anything that they do, their mannerisms, how they act. If you change that, it's not what you first fell in love with. It changes your feelings. It's all a part of this puzzle that makes it such a great
but
series.
see, here's the deal. When it comes
Drinking is next.
to the smoking thing, I don't think of it as a big deal. It could be a crack in the door.
I understand that.
Doors
And I
back
respect
open.
that.
But
Guys, guess what I'm watching now? The Mad World trailer. Holy shit.
Oh, goodness.
This thing is still fire, man. That song, Marcus, he's running into the Locust right now. Oh, man, this is marketing genius. Remember when Gears was good and they marketed it and they
Well,
weren't
let me ask you a question, Crap, because
Wow.
I streamed Gears 4.
marketing it.
I streamed
Is it
Gears
good?
4. I streamed Gears
4
4
was
last
great,
night.
man.
Well, I streamed it last night. A lot of people in the chat were very vocal, and a lot of people were asking. You guys know this. I've said this on Xbox Nation. I said it here. I've said it on MNC. I don't care about the meta score. Okay, I told you guys I'm loving Days Gone, and it's a 72. Okay, so I don't care about meta. And I don't care. Gears can get a 70. I'm playing it day one. My point being is this. Okay, is that do you think that we are going to get Gears 4 continued? Or do you think this is going to be Gears 5 taking that torch and bringing it to the next level? What do you guys think?
I think
Well,
it's that
you mean by next level?
that next level thing.
Well, we all said, Xbot, I'll give you an example exactly what I mean. Everyone said the coalition had to kind of get their feet wet, put them, get their toes in the pool, get used to what's going on because certain people didn't experience Gears or work on Gears before. Now the group's together, they're tight-knit, they know what they're doing. Shouldn't we see Gears 4 be taken to the next level? Whatever that next level would be, that's up to the developers, not me on CrossFire. So do you think Gears 4 is going to be Gears 5 will be more of Gears 4, like a continuation, or do you think it'll be something?
I think at its core, I mean, because at the end of the day, it's a third-person cover shooter, all that good stuff. They have to keep that element, that heart there for the Gears fans, right? They have to keep that there. But when you're hearing about, bigger, more open areas, you look at that it's centered around Kate this time and kind of like what's going on within her and discovery on her side, her lineage and all that good stuff.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That's
evolution.
That's
in,
the whole
in
book we don't know.
story as
Right.
well.
Right. That's a whole book we don't know. And
So yeah, it's gonna be the next level, brother.
I wasn't talking. I'm not talking about one individual character. I'm talking about the progression of the game. Gears 4. Everyone said it. Everyone from critics to even some hardcore fans said that's not all. Some Gears 4 was extremely safe.
Yes, very safe.
Like so super safe. It's not even funny,
Dude. Even to the point. Remember when they said they have new enemies, and then you look at the enemies, and
the DB bot.
they look like the same old enemies.
So Mr. Twister said he explained what he said in the super chat. He says, "Mooch, what I meant was it's the result of Microsoft wanting to be everywhere in the future, rated E, and all that nonsense." I think that's what he was trying to say.
Sounds like games of service.
Yeah. I mean, you know
what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Mooch, is that we're not. You know what's funny? We're not even talking about campaign. We're talking about smoking.
Well, I think we're talking about them taking censorship.
No, but I'm saying, but
you were Xbox.
What I'm saying is like they have not shown us campaign,
right?
And a lot of people have been talking about why haven't we seen the campaign? And here we are talking about smoking. That scares me a little bit.
And I think your point's going to become more and more relevant as the show goes on. And I want to say shout out to Lady Foxfire, who's probably the biggest Gears fan I know. Besides crap, and she says Gears 4 was awesome, not amazing like the first 3, but I can't wait to play the new one. I'm a true fan, and I even enjoy Judgment. Now, here's the thing, Lady Foxfire. Let me tell you something. There were some great seasons of Sopranos, and there were some bad ones. But I was a super fan, like you are, of Gears. So even when people were booing and hissing and saying this was the worst one yet, I was still like, it was pretty good. Yeah. It was pretty good, right? Because I'm a super fan, and I get that.
Mooch, I mean, even bad Sopranos was better than like what was on like regular TV at the time.
I agree with that. I have a hard time agreeing with you. But I mean, that's why I say that. I say that we have to kind of take a step back from our emotions. This is not really about smoking. We're talking about smoking. Of course, we're making jokes. There's GIFs. There's memes out there. That's fine. But really, when it comes
more
down
bad press for Microsoft,
censorship.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the optics. The optics are terrible. To me, this is like another gaffe in like Microsoft's PR. Like we've been talking about all console gen. I'm just like, I'm mind blown right now. I don't get it. I really don't. I understand that they're trying to cater to the eSports and everything, but you don't have to do this. You really don't. They didn't have to go this route. And
Enrique, let me ask you a question. You know what? I agree with you. And let me ask, and I'll tell you why. The eSports is pertaining to the multiplayer. There's no multiplayer mode where anybody's got a cigar in their mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, so if we're talking about the eSports part of it, that's not even included. So, I mean... Go ahead, Goldblum.
I get it.
Like this Gears is like the first time I'm not excited for Gears. Like,
why is that though, Goldblum?
Because I haven't seen anything that I'm like, oh my god, you know. But then also, it's the whole them talking about making it more open world and stuff like that. And I don't know about you guys, but me personally, there's times where I'm playing an open world game, even Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where I just get fucking bored as shit, dude. Just playing that. Like that's what I loved about Gears, is that it's very, it was linear. It was very like, I don't know how open world it's going to be. Trust me, it's probably not going to be like crazy open world like some of these other games out there, but
pseudo open world, brother.
Right, it's going to be pseudo, but that's the thing, like as long as it still has that linear feel to it, I may still be okay with it, but if it doesn't and it starts getting boring, that's not good.
I'll be honest with you. I'll agree with you, Goldblum, and I'll take Enrique's point and Kraft's point and take it one step further. I saw somebody today on Twitter who's a big-time Gears fan. They've got like a Twitter Gears 5 countdown of how many days left till the game releases. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, let's get hype. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm like, why doesn't Xbox have anything like this? Why are the fans telling me how many days I got left? I don't see anything from Xbox. And I'm like, I don't understand. Why aren't you advertising your game? Like, I don't see anything anywhere. I mean, listen, I'm not even talking about cable. And guys, tell me if I'm wrong. Is there anything on YouTube that's promoting Gears 5?
No.
Like besides they're like, these are our new multiplayer modes that they're putting out. I mean, is there any other commercials for Gears 5 on YouTube that I'm missing?
No, the Gears stuff is strictly what we saw at E3.
Okay. I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not telling. I'm asking. I'm clearly saying, okay, I understand that they're doing grassroots and YouTube. Is that? I mean, do you guys find that interesting that they're doing the grassroots thing for one of their largest franchises?
I mean, supposedly this is their big comeback for this franchise after underperforming.
Well, you did it. You did a solo cast today, Crap. What was some of the stuff that you were kind of? It wasn't the smoking issue that came out after your cast, but I mean, there was some other things that were going on in the same kind of. You got into a big Gears point on that show.
Well, I mean, for me, like I said, it's the what's happening is the only news about surrounding Gears 5 right now is the negative. You don't have anything positive. Like nobody, again, that what we saw at E3, that terrible, that, I mean, it might be okay, but I don't really have an interest in playing that mode that they showed off. It looked pretty cheesy and generic. I think people like Horde mode. People like the campaign. The multiplayer is pretty good. Last time we had almost a full year between the beta test of the multiplayer and when the game released, so they could fix things.
Yeah.
This seems like more like a last-ditch effort to get people to subscribe to Game Pass or pre-order the game, like trying to sell you the game. Like,
yeah,
what if it does need major fixing? How are they going to do that in 50 days? I don't think that this game's probably about to go gold, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Which means they send it out for certification and ship the discs and stuff. So,
is there even a beta for this game?
Yeah, but there's only 2 weekends or something, or I don't know.
Weekend, isn't it? The 13th and 14th?
I guess.
I believe it's this weekend, and then there's another one too. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, what do you guys think about the whole, the situation where I was saying, like, there's no advertising, but is that because it's in Game Pass and we all have Game Pass now? So the hardcore that we're going to go buy it, the 2-3 million that we're going to go out and grab it, all paid $1, and they're okay with it that way? I mean,
I cannot tell you why the hell they are not putting a huge marketing plan behind Gears right now. And I've gone on record time and time again when talking about Xbox. My biggest criticism with them is the marketing department. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, why aren't we seeing these new games, putting it out there, getting the hype out, stuff like that? And I don't understand why they're not doing that. I personally feel there needs to be a huge shakeup in the marketing department, because I feel like what they're doing has been absolutely subpar. Even like back with Halo Wars 2, right? Yeah. They had great commercials. You just never really saw them. And it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Even when you do have great commercials, you don't put them everywhere.
Well, they believe that nobody watches TV, which is complete and utter nonsense.
Right.
Well, even if you put them on YouTube, because I'm the type of person, there is a certain amount of seconds before you can skip the ad. If the ad looks kind of interesting, I'll watch it. Right. All right.
Last time I saw an ad for any Microsoft or Xbox game was State of Decay 2, and those were better than the fucking game, dude.
Wow. Oh, that's not hard. A Mooch and Crap production.
We got a lot of dislikes now.
Yeah. A Mooch and Crap production is better than that shit. So.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Mooch, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Enrique.
I've been a supporter of Xbox since 2002.
Yes.
And 18 years invested. Time, money. I gotta be honest with you, this is the first time where I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Like I mean, Crap, you and I have never seen, well, we haven't seen eye on a lot of things in the past.
Yeah.
But more recently, I agree with you on a lot of stuff related to Microsoft. And I'm done. I'm frustrated. And I've been in the game for 18 years. I was a beta tester, and like when I saw this thing about the smoking thing, I know it's not in the grand scheme of life. It's probably not a big deal.
No,
but it's the optics of it though, and it's another another blow. It's another blow to the nutsack of Microsoft.
Brother,
and I'm just like, I'm just done.
Society though, look at when it comes down to it. You don't
see Nintendo, you don't see Sony having these issues with first party. I mean, here we are this game's going to launch, right? And in like 2 months.
Uh-huh.
And we still haven't seen campaign footage. And people are like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." No, it is a big deal
than smoking. I don't understand why people are like, you know
not
what?
talking about
No,
smoking
I was
anymore.
in the boat.
This is on top of the fact that
X-Bug, you ever hear the expression, it's the straw that broke the camel's back? It's not necessarily that it's a big deal. It's just that it's literally, it's another thing piled up on top of why, you know?
Yeah,
and that's
done.
And you know, Enrique, you're not alone. There's been a lot of people very vocal on Twitter in the past week, even that have said, you know what? Listen, I like Xbox, I like their franchises, but I don't know where I can honestly say I'm either flustered or I'm going in a different direction next generation.
I even told Mooch today that I wasn't playing Xbox in like a couple months. I was just like, I haven't even played it.
First time he's ever said that to me, honestly.
I've been playing mostly freaking PlayStation and Switch.
They don't speak to me anymore. I mean, I came from the days where
That's a great line. They don't speak to me anymore. That is very much how I feel about this. And a lot of people think it's just one thing or the other, but for me, they literally aren't really speaking at what I got involved with Xbox in the first place. It was a fun place to play, and I made this point earlier today when I did kind of a solo cast. I was like, when people because it frustrates me when so many Xbox fans are just apologists for Microsoft, and they're like, oh well, it's okay because Microsoft they can sell 0 consoles, but they're still making money, so it's all good. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. And I made this point earlier. I like Xbox Live. It's a great place to play because it's a fair and balanced situation, right? Like even if you have an X and you're playing against an S, it's still the same frame rate. You can, everybody's playing on a controller. If you reduce your install base, like I'm finding out for the first time since I've played Xbox, when I play multiplayer games, I'm getting matched up against the same people. Not my friends, mind you. Just I recognize the names because there's so few people in these lobbies anymore playing Xbox Live. That never happened on Xbox 360. What's going to happen next generation is we're going to be forced, if we want to play multiplayer, to play against PC people or forced to play against people that are streaming and using touch pads and stuff. It's going to be very up and down, and that thing that we love about Xbox Live is about to lose itself. And that's one of the things that worries me a lot. And people don't even think about that, right? When I bring this up, people are like, oh, shit, I didn't even think about that. Well, that's something you should think about.
Crap, I mean, they're playing, on Sea of Thieves, they're playing against PC people, and it's a problem.
We quit playing. Me and Mooch ran into cheaters on there, like hackers from PC, and it ruins the fun of the game. Like, but what's going to happen is just like they forced Gears 5 or Gears 4 PC players into play us with multiplayer on the console, right? And you have to go through a bunch of hoopla to disable that, right? Because nobody was playing it on PC. So they're like, let's just go ahead and mix them up, like. But when you play against a PC person and they get that long shot, you're screwed. They got that mouse and keyboard, what's going to happen with Halo? It's like, it's going to be such an unbalanced thing. I loved Xbox Live because of how balanced it was. Yeah. And now it's like Microsoft wants to force you to play with people using a touch screen.
Do you really think there's going to be such a low player base on console?
Xbox Scarlet is going to get
especially when it
destroyed.
comes to Halo and Halo Infinite and all the hype in the Halo community about this game. Crap, you might not be excited with what you saw.
I'm not saying that I'm not excited for Halo.
Halo community is absolutely
the PC community in particular are very excited about it.
Of course they're excited.
Yeah, I mean, the Halo on the PC is going to sell
Halo release,
and it's going to sell far better. There's going to be a larger community on Halo Infinite on PC than on Xbox, which is what I'm saying.
Well, that's
why they're probably going to mix it. But listen.
The Xbox
you know how,
platform
and this is just a feeling for me anyway. Like it might not be for you, but a feeling that I get is
talking about apologists and stuff like that. It's not necessarily apologists.
It is because it's the same ones that go. Microsoft Xbox will be okay. Xbox will be fine because it's the Xbox that Microsoft thing. The app that'll be fine. The console is what I'm talking. Fine. When I talk about Xbox, I'm talking about the console.
But guys, you told me this would never happen though. You guys, when I said that these companies want to do streaming and stuff like that, this will never happen. That's 15 years.
I'm not talking about stream. I'm talking about Microsoft. Here's my bold prediction. Somebody can record this or whatever. I don't really give a shit. And I know in 3 years, Microsoft will be fully publishing their exclusive games on PlayStation 5.
Wow.
And I think the Scarlet is going to sell less than 20 million. I think Xbox Scarlet's going to sell less than 20 million consoles, and Microsoft is going to really
look to less than 10.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, really? That's a 10?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Seth, I'll be honest with you. It's not. It's
aggressive.
just these are Seth Broggy says you know take control. He goes, it's become Xbox bashing. It's not. You know the thing about Xbox 448's doing a fantastic job of the other
bless
side
him,
of the coin.
man. Bless his heart.
He
man.
is.
He
No,
is.
he
He's
is.
out there.
And I mean,
I love you guys, man.
You know, I mean, no, listen, absolutely, Xbox. We're all family, but
what I think, man. Like,
yeah, no, and
That's all good.
you're not wrong, Xbot. Okay, I mean you're entitled, absolutely. My thing about it though, to Seth in the chat and others, is that like you keep every day goes by and there seems to be a new change from Microsoft, then another change, and another change, and another change. And even you guys that are saying I'm okay with it and I don't see the problem with it, that's fine. Again, I really want to stress this I'll make it 100th time. It's not about the smoking. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody cares about the smoking. It's about the narrative and how they change it and how they force it on you. And it's like, you know what's funny? A lot of Sony guys that are it is. A lot of the Sony guys were like, I don't think we're going to ever see this from Sony. And they sent a bunch of different clips from all their main titles that have been out this year of all their main characters smoking cigarettes or nudity, or they showed this and they showed that. And they're like, Sony doesn't put that kind of, they have put some restraints on certain things. And my God, some of them they have to. Some of them were wild.
They put restraints on nudity, man. How come people?
Well, it was crazy nudity, though.
It was crazy nudity.
It was crazy nudity. Like that's one thing. But
let the artists draw.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Xbox. Put the rating on the box and let the consumer make the choice. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's nudity, smoking, etc., violence. Let me tell you this much. Anybody that's listening right now that's a parent, okay? When somebody on TV, when there's an action movie on and somebody's limb gets demembered off the body, that's when you grab your hand, you put it over your kid's eyes, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Right? Now, if that same person goes and lights a cigarette, you don't run to dive and cover his eyes because, right? So are you worried? What are you diving for?
You cover their nose.
Right? So according to Microsoft, it's okay for the same kids that can't watch smoking can watch somebody's head get decapitated, but it's not okay to watch, Schwarzenegger light up a cigarette. I don't get that. That's the part I don't see. So put it on the box. You want to make a new emblem? Put a cigarette with a little like hash be like,
these things are going to have everything on here.
Right?
Somebody who identifies as warning. We identify this main character as a straight male.
Right.
The enemy is a straight female.
You know
what I mean?
It's not about the
whiskey
smoking.
too much.
It's not about the
this
smoking.
character drinks 2 shots of whiskey. This character smokes a cigar. Right? Like the box art's just going to be a bunch of warnings for shit. It's ridiculous.
Going on? What's going on in Coalition? Because it's not about smoking. I want to let you guys know. I've been talking to Rod personally.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
I've introduced him to vaping, and
tell him to lay off the Apple Teenies.
Now,
vaping's the next target, by the way.
All the characters are going to be rocking dual battery mods. They're going to be sub-ohming, and they're just going to be creating huge clouds.
How many coils?
Huge clouds. 2 dual coil RDAs all day long.
Oh my goodness!
And I know most of this panel, I probably just spoke.
Let me segue over to another conversation that kind of ties in, but it's the opposite side of the coin. Let's look at Nintendo. Nintendo announces the Switch Lite, right? Absolutely. And they come out, Enrique, right? And the first thing they did when I watched their 6-minute segment was the first 3 minutes were like, here's our Switch Lite. This is the pros. This is what it does. This is what it's, how we changed it. And then they literally spent a good couple of minutes saying what it doesn't do.
Yeah.
Very clearly. It doesn't have the rumble. It's a smaller screen. It's not 1080p. It doesn't dock into your TV. Right? And it
what I liked about it?
Very clear and concise up front.
So Mooch, I was watching.
And they thanked us, by the way. They thanked us for supporting them.
They did. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, I think it's funny that they're calling this thing a Switch when it doesn't switch. But that being said,
people are calling it a console as well.
This thing, no, I told you, like the console, like if you want a console experience with the Switch, you have that, right? It's more expensive, but this is for the people that only want to use this thing as a handheld,
right?
And I think that's cool. This thing's going to sell gangbusters. It's going to be huge, right?
It's a 3DS replacement.
It is. It's going to be amazingly huge for Nintendo, and that's cool. I think that most of all, Nintendo, and I hate to harken back to this, but Sony and Nintendo both explain shit so much clearer than Microsoft, right? Like you knew what was happening, what that thing could do. Microsoft would have done a commercial and been like, "Here's our fucking thing," and then you would have had like 100 questions, like, "But does it do this or does it do that? Does it exactly right?" Like you wouldn't have known what the fuck it was even supposed to do. And I think that's the biggest difference. Like remember, Mooch, when Sony introduced they did a surprise update that introduced remote play with iPhones, right?
Yeah.
They're like, use it if you want. Here's how it works. Don't use it. We don't really care. Here it is. It was in their fucking notes. They didn't do a big announcement for it. They aren't like, got Sean Layden going, play your games where you want, who you want, wherever you want, taking a shit. It doesn't matter.
Just have him coming out with eating a sandwich and a tight suit on.
Exactly. So like that's what I like about how simple. You keep it simple, stupid. Microsoft, when you ask them, so what's xCloud about? We'll talk about that subscription model later, sir. Right now, we just want people to be able to play our great games wherever they want. We listen to you. We listen to the gamers.
That's a good point.
You wanted Banjo-Kazooie. We gave it to Switch.
Ask you.
You wanted this. We gave it to PlayStation.
That was one of my biggest questions after E3. I said, you have the biggest stage in the world right now for electronics, and everyone is running around. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying xCloud's going to be free, and it's not.
It's not going to be free.
It's not going to be free. So, because if they see their main competitor is charging, they're going to charge.
Hey, the free part is if you have the games or whatever and you have an Xbox, right? Like, I guess that's the free remote, just like PlayStation 4. Like they do the same fucking thing.
It's not the same as the xCloud and playing, right? You could play it remotely off your Xbox.
Off your Wi-Fi or whatever. Right. Yeah. Like off your thing or whatever. Yeah.
But not the membership that's like the xCloud stuff that they're promoting in the way that they're speaking about it, the way Google Stadia is talking about it. You're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
Well, Phil even said they're still working on trying to figure out what that model is going to look like.
That may be. They should know. That's what I said. People were like, no, Microsoft's ahead of the curve on this. They're way ahead. Well, Google came out. Google's launching in November, and it could be a mess. It could be an absolute mess. It might be. I'm not saying Google's got it right. We don't know yet. But, I mean, I think Google came out with a platform. They told you pricing. They told you everything.
Wingy Gaming makes the point that I've been begging for the longest time. He says exclusive AAAs, even if they are years out, at least a teaser. Let the fans know people need a reason to invest in a new console. This is what I've been saying. I understand that we're hesitant. I know you have Xbox. I understand that people are like, well, you don't want to do what Sony does. And I'm like, what? Get your fucking fans excited?
But Sony, and the thing is, the crazy thing is Sony's the market leader.
They are.
What they're doing works. I mean, it's not by accident they have been the market leader. Like, 4 out of 5 console generations they've been in the business.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen by accident.
Hey, they bullied Microsoft right into Microsoft pivoting almost out of the console business, right? Like they totally just like scared Microsoft should file charges because Sony just totally just bitched them out, man. It's ridiculous. And here's the funny thing, right? So you guys know, I know. You guys know who Brad Sams is, right? He works for Tarot.com.
Yes,
He's an insider. He did a video today and he was talking about it, and he mentioned something about Xbox One Sat Edition and how internally Microsoft had like super high sales expectations for this thing. And I tweeted him, I'm like, are you serious? They had high expectations for this for big sales. And he's like, yes, and I have proof of it. Like they expected this thing to be a fucking monster seller. And that shows you how out of touch Microsoft is.
Where are they getting that information from? Like that makes no sense to me. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Okay, so it reminded me of this. It reminded me of this conversation I had on Twitter with Albert Pinello, right when they started doing this Play Anywhere stuff when he was still at Xbox, and he was like, "Well, 95% of our research shows that 95% of gamers that have an Xbox also play on mobile and PC." And
that's such utter bullshit.
And I know, right? So I
messaged him.
True. I was like, Albert, I was like, dude, I play on a console. I never game on a phone. And I never game on a PC, and no Xbox fans that I know do that. And he was flabbergasted. He's like, what? He's like, our research shows otherwise. And I'm like, your research is bunk because nobody's going to use Play Anywhere. And here we are years later, nobody's using Play Anywhere. So, it's one of those things like Microsoft hypes up this stuff and it looks good and it sounds good. But the reality is people might try it on their lunch break, but I want to eat lunch when I'm on a lunch break. I don't want to fucking play Witcher 3. You know, it's just, I don't see this as being this huge deal, the savior of Xbox, or how is this supposed to get people to want to buy more Xbox?
Well, like you said, right now I see a lot of people right now on Twitter showing on PlayStation they can do that remote. They're doing that streaming through their PS4s at home. But like you said, it's not so revolutionary that I'm seeing every PlayStation 4 fan do that. So it's not. It's another option.
But with Sony, it was never a focal point with them. Like they never went out there and said, you know what, they never put PlayStation Now as the focal point of their service or what they were providing to gamers. It was always about games, and PlayStation 4. And that was it. It was very simple.
No. Hold on. The first half of the generation, it wasn't about games.
I bought an Xbox One because of the game.
But in the beginning of every console generation, it's always about resolution and power because you don't have any games. You don't have anything to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Xbox was coming through with games at that point in time. Unfortunately, they didn't have the power narrative. So those games
every day me and Mooch converse and we DM each other a lot. Certain like big personalities will tweet they're leaving Xbox or whatever, and I'm talking huge personality. Like this it's something that people are like starting to be really fed up.
They just got rid of their whole freaking sales department for xCloud. Like literally, like almost got rid of every single person in their sales department just because of xCloud. It's like, what? That makes no sense to me.
Well, you know what's funny?
Is that like the thing that they're counting like the most?
Well, you know what's funny? I brought up today, and I'm not like throwing anybody under the bus. I had really civil discussions. I love, even if you disagree with me, and I think Jez was part of this discussion. And I'd mentioned something that Windows was a dying platform, and people laugh at me. It's like people will say that consoles are a dying thing, and eventually we'll be doing this and this and this. But wouldn't PC then be a dying platform as well? And not only that, but Windows in particular is a dying platform because Microsoft, Satya Nadella sent out a 15-page memo saying, outlining a post-Windows Microsoft, and they eliminated the Windows division completely and fired Terry Myerson. There is no Windows division anymore. 3, they called Windows 10 the last Windows. Like it's clear.
Yeah, they're going to continue to add on to it. No more.
Yeah, exactly. But they're not going to make another Windows. So they're again
enterprise solutions for them now.
Exactly. So people are like, well, it's on a billion different things, and I'm like, well, if it's true that Windows 10 is on a billion different things, and you can make a free Xbox gamer tag with Windows, and they only have 58 million users. That tells you all you need to know, right? Like this number that they're talking about is completely asinine and ridiculous and so far-fetched. They're going after this casual gamer, and Matt Piscatella, which you've had on your podcast before, he tweeted out the other day, he's like, the 49% of gamers that spend $0 on free-to-play games are going to continue to spend $0 on free-to-play games, even with these streaming services, right? And it's like people get so pissed off at the guy for speaking facts. Look, casual gamers don't spend money. They're not going to play. They're not going to pay for a service subscription. They're not going to care. They're going to continue. Like my mom, fucking whenever I see her, she's playing Candy Crush or some shit, right? Like my fiance, I get her a little bit into console gaming. Like she likes stuff like a Peggle 2 or whatever, or Hexor. But most of the time when I see her playing on her phone, she's playing like this game where this thing's spinning and you got to put your finger on the thing and it whittles it down. Like that's the type of shit that people like to play when they're casual like that, right? Like she would never want to play Gears of War or
never want to play Cyberpunk 2077.
No.
Where are they getting these 2 billion gamers from?
It's the mobile market number.
Most mobile market people, they don't play games. They just play on their phone.
They don't.
You're pointing to the older people, like my mom, who will play like games on Facebook and stuff like that. But let me let you in on a generation that is in high school right now that will play full console games on smaller screens because
it's free.
No, it's not if it's free. If they
paying for that.
No. You know what, though? You're talking about Xbox. You're talking about accessibility, but eventually those people in high school are going to get jobs and have a TV in their living room. Okay, just like we do.
Wait.
And they're gonna listen. My kids are the same age, and they play. Listen, my kids play Roblox and Minecraft and all that stuff.
Like my 15-year-old, I'm talking.
But hear me out, though, Xbox. But the minute I give any of the kids any of their options to play, hey, you guys want to go play Minecraft on your tablet, or do you want to play on the 65-inch? They're like, I'll play on the TV. Like, so the TV still wins out.
Yeah,
but I
it's
know what
still
you're
very
saying.
relevant.
But that's what I'm saying. So when you say these kids in high
Guys,
school,
we
I
have-
get it.
We
But
have
they're
a
going to become
13-year-old
adults with
We have
jobs.
a
I get it
13-year-old.
too. I get it too. But yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
We have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. Not only that, they have friends. So we see a trend going on here. When it comes down to it, these kids have their heads down when we're going out and they're playing like these games. And when I ask them, what's going to happen when it comes to streaming games, they can't wait. They cannot wait to have their Xbox games on the platform that they use when they're not in front of their TV playing their Xbox. There is a demographic.
They have,
you got like
there is a
27
huge
kids, so I mean,
there is, but look,
so that
there's
shows
700,000.
community.
There's 700,000 that use PS Now. I mean,
Okay.
so there is obviously someone out there that wants to do this, whether it's enough to make a dent or
PlayStation
2
Now.
billion
Hold on,
people.
when it comes to PlayStation Now, because I saw you say this on Twitter, Sony's been streaming for the longest time.
Yeah.
That streaming was meant to be in-house. All right, was meant to be in-house on the same Wi-Fi that you have your PS4 hooked up
When
to.
they originally
Now,
did it, though, it wasn't.
People found a way around that, and they found the ability. But when the tech was never native for you to play it all the way out there at your job or anything like that, so you don't think that the tech will be better when it's natively in the system.
I think most people won't care. I think Microsoft doesn't have, like, people will play Fortnite or PUBG Mobile. Those are both free and full downloads, right? And you can play against bots or whatever if you don't have a connection.
I think you're underestimating it, bro.
I don't, because listen, I get it. Like, nobody in Xbox land, nobody in Xbox land cared about game streaming or remote play when it wasn't on Xbox. They only care about it now because it's coming to Xbox, and they go, well, Microsoft does it better. Let me count down the things that Microsoft did better that are no longer there. Zune was better than iPad, gone. Windows Phone, gone. Groove Music, gone. The Microsoft Band, gone. Connect, gone. Right? Like, wasn't Connect better, or like than Siri?
There's people going to buy Alexa now because Alexa has actually got better voice command with Xbox than the Connect did.
Yeah,
with Cortana.
So all I'm saying is, just because Microsoft, look, Xbox One X, that's a failure because, like, nobody's buying that, and it's the best thing, right? So Microsoft tends to make the best thing, and people don't support it. Why? Because nobody trusts Microsoft. They pivot too much. They change what they're doing. They went from Connect and this and that and the other end of the game. Remember, Phil, we're about games for the first couple of years at E3, and then that changed. We want Xbox fans to be first-class citizens. And then that changed. I'm in it to win it. And then that changed.
So
right?
Crap, that's why I'm disgruntled. Like what you just said. I've been there 18 years. They didn't used to pivot like this.
I know.
They were focused, and there was a consistent message, and it's not there anymore. It's gone. It's not the same Microsoft that I fell in love with, that I loved in the original Xbox days when they had Ninja Gaiden as exclusive. I always bring up Ninja Gaiden because, guys, if you guys remember that,
Ninja
Gaiden, seriously, it was console exclusive to a console that had no business having that game as an exclusive, but it did because Microsoft fought for it, and because Hideaki believed in the power of the hardware. He believed in the direction of Microsoft, and they had games like Atoji, which is a From Software game, which is the precursor to the hard games of like Dark Souls. I mean,
Enrique,
I have a review of that game up. It was pretty good, but difficult.
Let me just piggyback on what you and Crap are both saying right now and ask you guys if this kind of partakes in it. You have developers right now out in Square Enix and all the others out there that know what Microsoft has coming down the pipeline. They know what they have working. They're all more in tune than we are, way more in tune. But you have a game like Final Fantasy VII, and yes, of course, a business deal was cut here, so this is a business deal, and I get that. But this is another instance of Crap. I heard you making this point, Enrique. Would you agree with that? A lot of these developers still want to go to the industry console leader. Do you think that, and because they know that that's going to carry, will that affect Microsoft getting deals cut moving forward when Sony wants to have exclusivity?
We're seeing that right now. I mean, we're seeing it with Final Fantasy VII, Judgment, which just came out as an exclusive for PlayStation 4.
Ni no Kuni 2.
We're already seeing that. Yeah,
remaster.
We're seeing that. Somebody brought up Steel Battalion in the live chat. I mean, I mean, that was a Capcom game, which was like a $200 game, which was exclusive to the Xbox, because it could only be done on the Xbox. So, like, that's the era that I'm coming from. And the whole thing about like, we had Matt Piscatello on, and he said it. He's like, look, what Microsoft was trying to do in terms of Game Pass, that doesn't work for mobile gamers right now. Like the whole streaming thing, like that's not what mobile gamers are bought into. Mobile gamers don't pay to play. It's all free access, and it's all option microtransactions. If you want to, like Candy Crush, if you want to buy microtransactions, you can do that. And that's not the mobile market. The mobile market is not pay to play. And my kids, I have a 5-year-old, 9-year-old who game. Their earliest experience of gaming is not paying for games. They're playing Fortnite. And my
Same here, Enrique.
My niece and nephew play Fortnite and Minecraft. Those were like the early gaming experience, and they never paid for anything. And so that's the mindset. If you're telling me I grew up playing free games and now you want to charge me, I'm going to give you the middle finger, because that's not the mindset.
That's not how I grew up. Right.
Exactly. Like we grew up. We
grew up
playing
in arcades where it was like, can I get a quarter, Enrique? Give me 50 cents. Come on, buddy.
The quarter didn't work sometimes.
Now here's the thing. I saw this brought up on Twitter a lot too. Even Jez Gordon said this. He's like, unfortunately, as Microsoft loses market share with their console or whatever, paraphrasing, this is the type of thing that can happen. If you're a developer right now, and I'm seeing this more lately too, like Ni no Kuni too. Like I don't particularly care about that or the remaster, but
that's not your bag.
This game gets announced for fucking Switch, PS4, and PC. Like I've been seeing that combination more and more with no Xbox included in that, right? Like that's a problem. And here's the thing. Why would you bother if it has such a low install base, right? Like you got Phil Spencer out there going, we don't even care if you buy our shit. Like this, just like what Battlefield 5 said, right? We don't care if you buy our stuff. Don't do it. And then what happened? People didn't buy it. Like Phil's out there telling people don't buy it, and he's too tone deaf to realize that he has a real effect that you have to actually get out there and announce shit.
He didn't say don't buy it. He just basically said, we don't really care if you buy it or not.
Yeah, he's like,
why would you say that though?
Exactly.
Like, you're selling, like you're putting out hardware. Why would you say that? It's like if I open a car wash and I say, I don't care if people come to my car wash to get their car clean. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. Whatever.
It's gonna rain tomorrow. I don't care. Yeah. Let God do it. Listen,
exactly. let a couple of rainstorms blow through. I don't care. If it rains, great.
I do agree with that. I really do. I do want to get kind of back into the Switch here a little bit. You guys have made some great points, but like the Switch is kind of, there's a lot of people going.
I talk about the Switch.
Right, we were right. But the Switch, like a lot of people are like, oh, that's a must buy. I gotta have it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, these are people I know that already have a Switch. And I'm like, why do you want it?
I think the reason why they're doing that is because one, they can keep at home, put it in the dock, keep it there. That's where it's going to stay, right? And then that other one, they can take it mobile and smash it up and do whatever they want with it, because it's going to be more durable, and you can utilize it more.
Hold on, I see some good comments. Hold on. Dual Purpose says, if Xbox players don't support games, what makes anyone think they'll support xCloud substantially? This is a great point. Like if you don't got good games to show off, it's not going to matter. People aren't buying Xbox because you got no good games for it. What do you think? Like, how is that going to change substantially in the future? Also, what's his name? Tokyo Maestro says, taking that quote out of context, I think he's talking about the Phil one. It doesn't matter what context it's in. That's how he says it. That's how it comes across. He says they make money off of the services and subscriptions, so it doesn't matter if they sell an Xbox to a consumer, right?
Because well, that's the thing with that thinking that we're taking it out of context. A lot of people are going to take that out of context, anyways. They're good because of how he said it.
That just goes to show how confusing Microsoft is. They've been very confusing all the fucking time, right? The Geeky Nerd says, "I'm more happy about the games we didn't show." Another fucking Phil quote, right? Hey guys, I'm more excited about the stuff we didn't show. So tune in next year. It's like they hook you.
He says that every year.
They hook you. And I told people this on my live cast. I am working on this shirt. I'm not a graphic wizard or anything. I don't need good graphics, but it's going to be an Xbox logo, and it says wait till next E3, and it's going to have like 2016 crossed out, 17, 18, 19, 2020 above it, because that's the year, right? We've been saying this for so long, and at the end of the day, I personally got tired of it. Like, like Phil has his protective bubble. It's funny because we had Jay on Wednesday, Kratos, you guys know him. Funny guy. You used to be a huge Xbox 360 fan. That's what people don't get. He was a 360 guy.
He still supports the Xbox One, by the way.
He does.
He does. Yeah.
He does. You know, he wants to see it do good. We all want to see it do good, but it's not going to do good until Microsoft and Phil gets it in their head that exclusives matter, and you've got to give your consumers a reason to support and buy your platform. So he can put his games wherever he wants, and that's fine. But if you're not giving people a specific reason, a good reason to buy your platform, then nobody's going to buy it. Look, wasn't Gears at one time considered a console seller, an NPD winner? Right? Will Xbox win an NPD with Gears coming out, and will Gears even crack the NPD?
That's a great question, actually. Yeah,
that is a good question because even Gears
NPD, but I don't think it's going to be a system seller.
Yeah, like I think Xbox One, their last NPD win might have been Gears 4.
Something like
right?
that,
yeah. 2016. I mean, think about that. That's
that's before Game Pass too.
To get back to the Switch though, because freaking Pred in the chat was saying.
Here, Pred made a good point. Go ahead.
He's like, you gonna buy another Switch to be portable, and it's like. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves like, I can use my Switch that I have now, put it in the dock, use it for
as a console,
online,
right?
Use it as a console, and then take my other Switch that I have that's mainly handheld to anywhere and everywhere that I want to go, like camping and things like
handheld.
that.
It is handheld.
But the problem,
it's a handheld. Most people
not a console,
handheld.
people.
Guys, the one thing that Nintendo's
console.
they're not doing right is it's not a seamless transition from your current Switch in your account to this one. I think every time you go back and forth, there's questions on save data coming with you, and there's questions on your account. So you can do it, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass, and that literally does. That's a little bit. It takes a little bit away, and I'll tell you something.
That's why a lot of people are saying to utilize that handheld one as your main, and then use your other Switch that you have.
This is so redundant. It's getting ridiculous. If you don't have a Switch right now, and you say you want to get a Switch Lite, you know what I say? Go do it. I'm right there behind you. I encourage you. I say it's a great console. Go enjoy it. But if you already own a Switch, and the whole premise of having the Switch was the portability, and you're telling me I want to get this one because it's an inch shorter on the side and it's more portable, what are we talking about?
For me,
and you lose a lot of the function.
I'm definitely not going to get another one. I already put that on Twitter.
Why would I? Mine does the portable thing already.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. But I think it's more for the younger kids. I think it's more for
you lose the rumble.
People
you lose the ability to dock it. You lose the size of the screen. You lose some of the games. Listen, for the kids, they really enjoyed
those
it.
Games
they enjoyed the Labo. They can't do the Labo with it.
No cardboard.
My cardboard robot suit is useless. Damn it!
My cardboard fishing rod is useless.
Like the list of games that were on there were like the only one I was like, okay, maybe I would have a problem with was Mario Party. That was about it. The other ones I was just like, whatever. I don't care.
Hey, Lone Star asked a question though. He says, honest question: is there enough hardcore Xbox fans left to sell their games on consoles? Is that why their games are going elsewhere? Oh, that's a fucking great question because
that's what Game Pass is for. Crap.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but you don't need an Xbox to play Game Pass.
If you look outside this community that we're in, and let's be honest here, when it comes down to it, we are in a small community that's a part of a bigger gaming community. There are still a lot of Xbox people out there, and I think that's something people kind of live in a bubble.
That's true, Xbox. It's very true.
There is a community that's here on Twitter, and they know Mooch, and they know Crap, and they know Xbox, and they know Enrique, but that's not the end-all, be-all. There's a wider
community.
That's true.
There's a lot more Xbox people out there than people want to give credit for.
I don't know. I don't know if
I think it's dwindling very quickly.
I don't know if it's dwindling. I mean, I think that it's still there. The excitement is not there anymore. Like people are like I said, guys, I've been here 18 years, and I'm just disappointed. I've gotten to the point. I never thought I would ever get to this point where
I'm
I've had
excited
enough.
for Bleeding Edge. I am excited for Battletoads, even though it's a smaller game. I am still excited.
You're excited for all the shitty ass games.
I am excited to see exactly what's going to go on with Gears. I am excited for Halo.
And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just not. I'm not excited for that stuff. They're not giving me what they used to give me, and I just don't see. I don't. Yeah, it's not that I don't see the variety. Like when Sony said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna cater to the hardcore gamer." In the with the PS5.
Yeah, they came out and said that. Those are some bold words right now.
You know why they said that, right?
And I'm like, I'm sold.
It's marketing against what they feel.
But here's the thing: they didn't even go to E3. They didn't even show up to E3 this year.
That is a hardcore gamers
conference, man. It's a bold statement.
Yeah, but they didn't even go to E3,
and they won E3 too.
Yeah, but they didn't go to E3, and people. I feel like people are more excited for what Sony has to offer, and then even show up to E3, which is like the biggest.
Here's the thing: Sony is actually paying attention to what the fucking Xbox fans are wanting, right? Like they got people. You don't think they got people scouring social media? They do. So they see that Xbox fans want quote unquote hardcore games. So what does Sony go out and do? Just what they did this entire generation. Went out and said what those fans want. Hey, we're gonna focus on hardcore, less of that indie shit. We're focused on what the fans want. The reason why you buy these consoles is for these big AAA experiences. We're doubling down on that. Exclusive.
We've always bought consoles for those big experiences, though.
I know.
That's the part that people like. When people say, "Oh no, those things don't matter," I'm like, when we went from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the SNES, we thought about, "Oh my God, can you imagine what Mario's going to look like in the SNES?"
Yeah, exactly. Those are the exact words.
That hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed.
That's the thing. I mean, you look at what Nintendo showed off at E3 this year. It was insane, dude. Like, I mean, they showed off so many games that I can't even name them all. Like, it's insane how much they showed off.
How is it that the Switch is 2 years old?
To that
how is it? How is it that the Switch is 2 years old and they're already announcing fucking a second Zelda? A Metroid, a Animal Crossing, like they literally, it's like boom, game. You know what I mean? Microsoft 5 fucking years and have announced squat, and I wish in one hand and shit in the other, and guess which one piled up faster? The shit.
Out to King Ram because I don't have a Switch. F Nintendo, just saying.
Hey, Vance City 92 says, can you talk about Sunset Overdrive possibly coming to PS4 and Switch? So this was a rumor from some site. I don't know.
Controllers.
I don't know if it's debunked or not, but it's just one of those things where you could see Microsoft giving publishing rights back, and then the game doing that.
Well, they gave Alan Wake back.
That's what I'm saying. If Microsoft in Microsoft's thing, they're probably thinking we're never going to get a sequel out of this. Let's go ahead and give public, because I heard that they did a three game deal too. So I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I'm not sure. It's such a small outlet that
I wouldn't be surprised either. I made a video on this earlier, and shout out to Butcher Van. You guys all know him.
Butcher's great.
Bunch of giveaways, stuff like that on Twitter.
Awesome dude.
He came out and he said that Insomniac said that Sunset Overdrive is an Xbox exclusive and always will be. So if they came out and said that, I took his word for it. I was live and stuff like that, but I can see them doing something like that. And the reason why is you see them investing in studios. Now, granted, if you like their investments or not, let me finish here. All right. They invested in studios, right? If you look at what they did this generation, they did a lot of what they call second party deals. And unfortunately, they did not work out, whether it was a power narrative and people counting P's, or whether it was possible misuse of money when it comes to Platinum Games. It just was not working out this generation. So I can see Xbox saying, when it comes down to this, man, what the hell is going on and what do we do here? Well, I think we should get more under our umbrella and develop more with studios that are first party. Therefore, we don't have to negotiate anything when it comes to Game Pass, games going on Game Pass, stuff like that. Multi-plat developers that are doing exclusive content might ask for more when it comes down to it. So they are transitioning to a more first-party rotation, and they are squeezing out that whole second-party content.
But don't you think that they're going to lose more money just because of those games are all going to Game Pass, and there probably won't be a lot of people there? Hold on. 1 second. Let me finish.
Let Goldblum go.
Damn it. if it, especially if it's going to Game Pass, you think a lot of people are going to buy those games? Hell no, dude. And that's the
Well,
thing. Like, they're not going to buy those games because they're like, oh well, I can just
Well,
get
I
on Game
think
Pass.
it's already
Especially
been
as
kinda-
hardcore, especially
least
the
Can I-
ones
can
who
I
are
come in real
sticking
quick?
with Xbox, they're just going to be getting it on Game Pass. So they're not
Okay,
going to be
and that's
making
no
jack
problem.
shit off of
Hey,
fucking
here's
Steam.
the thing that I
Hey,
Hey,
and how
Goldblum.
come Xbox has a profit margin to this day? No
we
matter.
can't play profits.
But he's talking about money. I can't talk about money.
I can't play profits.
Wait. But Goldblum, actually, we asked Matt Piscatella about this, about the, games with, Game Pass with games and how that impacts sales, and for right now, at least for the time being, there is a positive impact in terms of sales with games that go on Game Pass because of the increase of engagement, meaning that people are trying out games they probably would never try out on Game Pass, and they're buying them, and so there is that correlation right now. So so games are
For
being
now.
bought for right now. I mean, and Matt says it. Matt says right now that's the correlation. I mean, who knows if that changes or if that stays the same? We don't know, but at least for the time being, that's the case.
And dude, when it comes down to it, if you talk about them making money, like the funny thing is, if you hear everything that's going on here and how they haven't had a new AAA IP, all this good stuff, and they're still bringing in revenue on the Xbox division. All right, most profitable that they have ever been, basically.
With their
How
lowest
are they
sales.
doing
If they continue to
How
bring
are
the
they-
stuff that they've been
how are
bringing
they
this
doing
year and last year,
But
it's not going to fucking work.
They didn't buy all these development teams so they could just sit on their ass.
Well, if they're going to
Let's be
keep
real.
bringing,
Well,
they're going to
But-
keep
but they
bringing
can't
games like
come out
Sea of
with something
Thieves
tomorrow
and State of
either.
K2 and Crackdown 3.
See, I would
even,
actually be in Xbox back pocket being like,
it's
this is fantastic, Xbox. You're making
like,
great
dude.
points. The problem I have is the companies that they've acquired recently are all their first games out the bat are all multi-plat.
Okay.
So these would be
Carlo,
really
pay that bill,
So
Mooch.
Carlos Torres, he says there is Xbox fans out there, and I'm one of them. Tell me how I spend $500 on the X for what battle turd. I want my AAA. I value my time. I tried wasting time on AA. I think he's basically saying he wants his AAA games. He doesn't want Battletoads.
He's tired of
Brother, you're
AA.
getting Gears in a couple months. Be happy, Carlos.
Maybe
Do
he
we
wants
know that
something-
that's going to be AAA? Because the way they're going, it sounds like it might be AA.
boy. Those are dangerous words there,
You know what?
You just lost all your subs, Mooch.
Hey, you know what? You know what's funny is they actually consider part of that AAA as the marketing budget, to which we have not seen any marketing yet. So
that means it all went to the game then. There you go.
Well, hopefully. We hope anyway. We hope
There you
anyway. You know,
we haven't
I
seen
hope
campaigns.
so. Yeah, there's been no campaign footage whatsoever. Hey, don't worry, guys. The day it launches in early Ultimate Edition, we'll get campaign footage that day. So, after suckers spend their money on that edition or the Game Pass version, we'll get.
Well, crap, it's
bet
Coalition. We're in good hands.
I bet you any money, all the people who saw that the Ultimate Edition was going to Ultimate Game Pass, they were like, "Yeah, I'm canceling my pre-order."
Well,
hey, listen. Why wouldn't you do it that way, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sold
exactly.
on this game. I had Game Pass, or I had Live Gold through 2022, and then for $1, I upgraded it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't
absolutely.
that way? And mainly because I got tired of buying their mediocre shit. $40 for that, and Mooch gives me shit.
Remember
I
crap
bought
I said?
that goddamn State of Decay 2.
There's actually some truth to that. We had Gaming Forte, who's actually one of the co-hosts on Brap. He works for GameStop.
Yep.
And he was telling us the pre-orders in his store, and there's only like 9 pre-orders for Gears 5 and 56 pre-orders for Death Stranding.
That is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
There should be way more for Gears, especially since Gears is
There should
not
be way
even
more
that
for
far
both.
away.
Sony doesn't have
Well, that is
a
true.
subscription
Death Stranding should
service.
be more.
Well, they don't need a subscription service. You got 15 million people buying your games. I mean, like, you're making more money that way than through a subscription service, right? I mean, that's just it is.
I
It is
mean,
true.
if we're going back to talk about money again.
No, I'm just saying.
I
If
mean,
you
can't
like,
play money, but,
I get it. But what I'm saying is, Sony doesn't need to copy what Microsoft is doing because people like what Sony's
That's the
doing
thing.
better.
Yeah,
They're
It's
going
100,
to, though.
100. They're not 100 million.
Yeah, they are.
Versus, dude,
They will-
Xbox. I don't know how to get this through to you. Nobody's fucking buying an Xbox anymore. Nobody cares about Xbox. They're not buying this shit. It's 6 million so far this year. 6 million people have bought a Switch. 6 million people have bought a PS4. 1.5 million worldwide has bought an Xbox. That's the fucking lowest sales an Xbox has ever had.
Okay.
So we can sit there and talk profit all we want, but nobody's buying this heap of shit because there's no games for it. They're not announcing games for it. People are not sold on this.
You know,
thing.
it's funny. I watched
nobody's sold on their future.
I watched a roundtable discussion last night. A big media outlet. I'll leave their name out of it. Big media outlet. And one of the guys at the end, he said, you know, he goes, it wouldn't. He turned around to the camera. He goes, wouldn't hurt if we knew some games that were coming out from Xbox. And I mean, really, and I'll be honest with you, it was a hit. It was a hit because
that is the main problem.
Why not talk about the games?
But people think I'm like constantly saying, you know, they're doing this great, they're doing that great. I'm pointing out what I feel are criticisms on their part. And one of the things that I have stated, don't do exactly like Sony in terms of just going to E3 year over year with the same games and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, everybody on this panel, except for maybe Brett, except for Enrique, I don't know, but everybody kind of bashed that at one point in time. But you do have to show that there's a future.
Xbox bashing the fact that we saw the same game 3 years in a row is one type of bashing. Going and watching 3 or 4 E3s in a row, not seeing anything. I mean, we have Gears.
Well,
you're the one that says Gears is coming out in 2 months. We didn't even see gameplay footage in 2 months.
For 3 or 4 years. Their E3s are actually very good.
They've showed indies and Minecraft.
Yeah,
what new IP? What new IP have you seen in the past 2 years, Xbox, except for Bleeding Edge?
Show, and they showed
except for Battletoads.
You know what's interesting is I've seen, like, you know, I've been listening to you guys for many years now, and I've seen this thing come full cycle now where, you know, Mooch and Crap. I mean, you guys were big supporters of the Xbox early on.
Absolutely.
And now you guys are at the point where, like, enough's enough. And I think that speaks
We're
volumes.
like Giants fans, Mooch.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. I'm leave my Giants alone. We got 2 rings. 2000.
Or maybe Mets
like
fans.
Lions fans, okay? We're more like Lions fans.
Or maybe Mets fans, you know.
Super Bowl.
Like E3's Bobby Bonilla day for you guys.
Oh, man. That still hurts. I mean, no, listen, I got to be honest with you. You know, I'm not as vocal as Crap about it. I'm still very much a big part of the Xbox family. I get it.
Yeah, I've seen.
Hey, Gaming Forte says Gears now has 17 pre-orders and Death Stranding has 86. We're moving up.
Well, we're staying relative. Go ahead, Enrique.
But Mooch, I've seen, like, I've listened to you guys for years, and I've seen the change and the tone and the messaging change, and it's because you guys have had enough, and I think you guys are onto something. I don't think this is an anomaly where you guys are the only ones feeling this way. I feel this way. And, you know, and I've seen the change in the tone, the conversation that you've been having on your channel for the last 3 years. It's changed now. Where you guys like, wait a minute, like,
it's been actually a slow change. You know, you're like, okay, I'm okay with that. And you're like, okay, I'm okay with that. Then you're like, well, I'm not really okay with that, but okay, I'll keep going. And you keep going and you keep going. And finally you're like, is this ever going to stop? You know, is this ever going to end? And are we going to get some games? Are we going to show something? I mean, we did a pre-game. We did pre-shows and thoughts on E3 and our predictions podcasts. And all I ever asked for this year was this. I said, no gameplay, no nothing. I said, put the title on the screen and have the developer come out and talk to it. Just a title and a guy talk to it or a girl talk to it. I don't care, right? And I didn't even get that. And that was when at this E3, I was like, this was subpar. All I was asking for, right, when Nintendo did their big direct before E3, and they flashed, 6 months ago, they did Metroid 4. I don't care that I got delayed. They did that
with Zelda,
too. We got delayed, though.
But guess what, Enrique? But wait, let me just say something real quick. Metroid 4 got delayed. Guess what, Enrique? Metroid 4 is still coming. So I don't care. I'm still excited that it's coming.
But Mooch, on top of that, though, it's okay that I got delayed because you have other stuff that's coming now.
Absolutely.
If you're a developer, man, you can't wait to put your shit on the Switch right now. I'm telling you, like, that is the hotness right now. I would be all over that. I wouldn't waste my time putting stuff on Xbox. I don't care what incentive they give you. I wouldn't do it.
It speaks volumes that the Switch is about to outlap the
if it hasn't already. If it hasn't already.
No, it's close. It's close. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, that's
right.
I think
it's a much weaker. It's a much weaker console.
Way more than my freaking Xbox.
Yeah,
and it's much weaker, which is crazy.
Onslaught in the super chat says Sony doesn't need to copy Xbox. why the hell are they helping them with these servers? I mean,
they're renting. It's not because they're renting them. They could have went to Rackspace, which is what they're already doing, or they could have went to Amazon, and they have a letter of intent. It's not necessarily what a lot of people were trying to spin it with. But
it's also a two-way deal, though. Like Microsoft's getting like things from Sony too.
Yeah, and what's Sony getting?
Sony's going to have better servers for their service.
The number one servers, and what do you think they're going to use that for?
They're going to use it for their PlayStation Now.
Okay, and they're going to use that to stream. And
yes, they've been streaming this entire generation.
The last couple of years.
The difference is though they're not making that the focal point of their platform.
Exactly.
Not yet.
It's not going to be the focal point.
Well, that's fine. Not yet. It's fine. They don't have to do it because we don't
kind of like guesswork on the future. I can guesswork on the future as well, and I'm letting you know that when it comes down and they are ready to do it, you will see their marketing for streaming their games on any device, and nobody's going to say anything about it.
Nobody's going to say anything because we don't care. Look, I don't care that Microsoft is fucking streaming. I care that they're not trying to sell a goddamn Xbox to me. I care that they're not making games for me. Those are the fucking two things I care about. I could care less about streaming or Sony streaming or fucking putting your shit on a phone. I'm not going to use that shit anyway. I ignored it this entire generation. I'll continue to ignore it. I care about the fucking games. Treat me like you want me. Treat me like you want me as a consumer. Treat me as you want me as a consumer.
Real quick, super chat. I got King Ram. He says, I also don't have Game Pass F subscriptions. Okay, sorry about King Ram. He said you didn't do it. I thought I did. My apologies. I did his one above that. My bad. No, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, treat me like you fucking want my money. You know what I mean? Like you value me as a customer. Microsoft does not fucking care. They act like they don't care.
You want games absolutely exclusive on console.
I don't. It doesn't have to be. You can fucking stream them and PC them. I don't give a shit about that. Just give me a fucking reason to buy your console.
But you said that exclusives are a reason.
Yes, exclusive. A fucking exclusive. A console exclusive. It doesn't matter if it. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter what else. If it's on as long as it's not on the other consoles, you're fucking good. You're giving me a reason to buy that console.
Let me answer. You guys are going back and forth in this kind of circle. But the
Tokyo Maestro.
Hold on.
Ask Mikey Barra. What's next gen? Like they're going to use the same discs and shit, man. It doesn't matter. If they can show Halo on a quote unquote Scarlet setup, they can show other fucking shit and get people excited. They announced the console.
Hold on.
They announced the console, right? Why not go? And the next 5 games we're going to show you are fucking Scarlet spec games that we're working on. And here's a little teaser at the end. Fucking, you see Albion, like the voice, and then a fucking picture or something. That would have been amazing.
Let me add to that real quick. Bud the Cyborg, he says, Mooch, how can you use Metroid teaser to complain about Microsoft when we've had Halo Infinite teasers for years? Here's the thing about it, though, Bud. The thing about it is after the Metroid that's not true. After the Metroid teaser and the delay, we've got games coming out from Nintendo nonstop.
Yep.
Okay, I've got the Infinite teaser from last year, which was better than the Infinite teaser from this year. Okay, and then I've got nothing. I have nobody Ross on stage. Nobody telling me what's going on. Nobody speaking to it.
Where's
nobody
she been?
knows anything that's happening.
I liked it when he came on stage and started talking about Halo. What the hell happened with that?
Kiki talked on a video for K Mega when he was at E3, by the way. She said hashtag save lock.
That doesn't mean Locke is going to be saved, though. You know that. Like she just did that to humor him. That's all she did.
Of course, man. But it's cool that she did.
It's pretty cool. That's
cool. It was cool. I was pretty
Oh.
jelly when he got that. I was like,
that is cool. She did that.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right, guys.
Shout out to
I'm going to do another subject here. Just change subjects a little bit here. Crap, your favorite game? Well, not your favorite. One of your favorite third-party games of all time. Captain Stu Nuts is making a return this September, November, right? Listen, everyone's loving. Everybody is loving Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, I put into our notes here the 2v2 mode is getting a lot of hype.
They're bringing negativity about it. What are you talking about?
I saw people loving it.
I saw nothing but love so far.
Dude, like, people are like, this was on a new engine?
It looks beautiful, man.
I thought it looked really good.
Is there cigarette smoking in that game? Is that allowed?
There is.
Captain Price.
Captain Price smokes.
Captain Price and Captain Stunuts both got their own Cubans they're smoking. Absolutely.
Didn't Price have a cigar in his mouth when they showed the?
I like a nice cohiba every once in a while.
That's great. That's awesome. But I mean, I will say this much. So this is it's a rebirth, if you will, of the modern warfare we all came to love and adore. And I'll tell you something. This new engine, it looks fantastic. I did. I mean, I told everybody many times. I was at the midnight release for all those games.
Yeah, no, but you said we all love and adore. I'm not in that boat with you guys. Sorry.
I like how that's where you abstain, but you can't wait for Gang Beasts 2.
Hell yeah!
Come on, that's hilarious. That's not fair.
But what do you expect? He wants to play Battle Turds.
Oh,
Battle Turds.
Hey, Xbox, it's all good if you're looking forward to that game, man. Don't let these guys. It's all good, man.
For buying Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and playing that game on my Xbox. You're giving me props. And now you're just throwing me under the bus. Brother.
Dude, you know how I am. I like fucking with you. You know that.
Pandora Tomorrow is a good game, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No, I wouldn't question that. That's a good game. But I mean, honestly, getting back to Call of Duty, is this something that you guys would think will bring Call of Duty back to that fondness that we remember many years back? Or is this just going to get boring again after a month and a half?
This has me super excited. They're going a very mature route. Supposedly, like, it makes No Russian look like a picnic. And I love that. It's going to have Spec Ops co-op. They're saying it might even have Battle Royale. It's got a campaign. It's a soft reboot of the franchise, but does have Captain Price. I couldn't be more excited for this game if I tried. This is what we've been asking for. We haven't had a true, like, boots on the ground Call of Duty since, I guess, the World War II one, but a modern one since, I think, 2010. So this is super, or it might have been 2011. Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because we did get World War II, which was okay, but the weapons aren't great in that era.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're going to be able to play with, like, the modern weapons and stuff, and you don't have, like, I like Black Ops 4. I went on there the other day and fucking was smashing the shit out of people. But it's like your guy's a superpower. You pick a super fucking character. It's like Hulk smash or whatever. Yeah. So it's like it's not as good as fun, but I'm looking for something like old school fun, and I think it's about time what's old is new again. And so I'm very excited by it, and I think that supposedly, free DLC, you don't got to pay for map packs or any of that shit. I'm excited.
And I think that's the thing with this new COD is that it brings it's kind of has a shining light a little bit, because when I was watching that gameplay, I saw so many people in the chat were saying just like negative things about it, but then when you look at them, they're like huge Call of Duty fans, and it's like, don't you want them to kind of change their narrative there, their formula? Because I mean, they've been kind of doing the same formula for years now. And then they went out and they were like, hey, what do you guys think about us bringing back Battle Royale? And everybody was just like, no, don't do that, please do not do that. So I mean, I'm all for it, man. I think Modern Warfare is going to be a freaking fantastic game, and graphically it looks fantastic. I mean, even multiplayer looks great.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, and I took a hiatus from the whole thing. I will be there day one for this Call of Duty. I think that engine change, that engine upgrade is absolutely stellar. It looks beautiful.
It looks very real.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't mean smoke as in a cigarette, but I mean the smoke, the light, right? It looks fantastic. It really does. It looks so good.
Speaking of cigars, isn't like Gears supposed to have the Terminator skin in it?
Yeah.
Isn't that an Arnold character?
Yeah, but it won't be Arnold. It'll actually be
just the
Terminator, the actual metal being. Yeah.
Okay.
The only human character they got is the woman, because hey, strong female women, right? Gotta have them in your game.
Was she gonna be like Sarah Connor or something?
She is Sarah Connor.
It is Sarah Connor.
She is Sarah Connor.
Yeah. It is.
No,
it's the same.
It's
the
shittier version of Sarah Connor.
Who's got the marketing contract with this Call of Duty? Is it still Sony?
Probably Sony.
I think they do, but I think they only have it for like a week. Like
but it doesn't matter because there's no map packs. I mean, there's map packs, but they're free.
Yeah.
So,
Chris Hughes Sr., I don't know what he keeps saying. He's written me twice now in the chat. He says, Mooch, Call of Duty has banned drinking and smoking. I think maybe he's kidding. Because Captain Price is with I don't think he's in one scene without a stogie. To be honest with you, right?
I could see them doing an ad being like, "We have smoking" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Sony
we knock gears.
So that's coming with Sony. They're gonna have the next Last of Us 2 trailer is gonna be like Joel smoking a cigar or a joint or something, and then actually it's gonna be Joel walking to Xbox vape shop and buying a vapor and smoking it.
Shout out Xbox gonna be sitting there. Get out of my store!
Shout out to King Ram again, who's in the super chat. He says people love Xbox, and the political correctness culture is ruining Xbox. Someone needs to play this podcast to Satya so he can backhand Phil for for not making Xbox great. Give me hardcore games. King Ram, thanks. I appreciate the super chat.
I think I remember Phil saying that the Xbox Scarlet was going to be a unique design. I think it's going to be in the shape of a vagina. And that's the Xbox design for next gen.
So it's going to be an even bigger VCR.
Yes, it's going to be shaped like a vagina. It's going to be pink. It's a bold strategy.
It's going to be sloppy.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Do you think Xbox? Listen, real quick.
It's going to have meat drapes
before you get
Is it going to have a landing strip?
Yeah. Yes. The landing. No. Well, yeah, they have to have that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. No. Maybe.
Yeah. It definitely has to have that for sure.
Real quick, guys, let me ask you guys a question here. I think this was a missed opportunity. You saw Microsoft promoted Cuphead right now. They had publishing rights to Cuphead. Is that true or not true?
I think they were the ones that allowed it to be published on Switch.
Yeah. So, but do they make money on this Netflix deal that Cuphead's getting?
Oh, absolutely, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. They don't own MDHR if that's the company respectively. I don't know if I'm saying the proper dev name
King
right.
Ram with a great.
No, they still make some.
Yeah, I read that already.
Because of the fact that they
Wait, you didn't read King Rams, did you?
Yes.
About the political correctness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crap
On a crap rant, like you bet for an hour and a half.
He just changed it a little bit because he didn't want to say one word in it.
Crap, you went off into left field.
Damn, my bad.
I was thinking about vagina box.
I know. I was like, hey, here's the pink box we're getting.
Oh my God.
It's great. It doesn't play any M-rated games, and there's no cussing or drinking or smoking or swearing.
It's got nice customized controllers.
Yes.
PC box.
Battery powered.
Yeah,
it is.
But I mean, I was shocked because I saw the Cuphead thing coming to Netflix, and I said to myself, "This is a great opportunity for Microsoft." But I'm like, I think they were going to make any money on that.
No. I don't. I mean, TV, right, Mooch? Come
Absolutely.
On. Yeah,
absolutely.
You gotta,
even though they say they don't believe in fucking TV anymore, like Jesus Christ.
The next couple will be like game and TV.
I think it was more streaming. I don't know if
it's more streaming.
Right? Streaming, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my whole shtick on that. I just saw the Cuphead thing and I said, myself personally, I thought Cuphead was a neat game. I think a lot of people, the minute anybody tweets Cuphead out there on Twitter, everyone's like, I loved it. It was great. I loved it. And then people are like, how far did you get? Oh, about 3 enemies in. You're like, what? Yeah. I mean, how much did you love it if you played it for a half an hour? So I myself personally, I have like three enemies to defeat left in the game, and I just got to a point where I was like, my God,
I quit on the second world or whatever it is.
So if they do make a sequel to that game, which I'm sure they will now with this kind of like, I mean, this is a company, right? This MDHR, if I'm saying it right, please correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But they're the company crap that came out and said they mortgaged their house. Yeah, and they went to the end degree, and now they got to deal with Netflix. I mean, these people got to be making that's got to be big time, right?
They're banking, dude. They're banking like
what
crazy.
A great success story.
Yeah. Hey guys, I was thinking we could get together and like sign a get like something and sign it for Phil and see if we can't get a petition going to replace the guns in Xbox games with squirt guns, just like they did with their emojis, right? That's what I'm saying. Like
Splatoon.
Well, yeah, like, get squirt guns. I would love to play Master Chief with a squirt gun or a water pistol or something along those lines. We could get him some tutus. I would love to see him just kind of prance around and pick flowers and.
How you get?
and I mean that's the way we're going, right? We can't have anything
Maybe even some gardening.
Garden Simulator with starring Master Chief.
Oh,
you know,
goodness.
I think that would be absolutely fantastic. I think that would be a top seller. That'd be more along the lines of what 68 Metacritic tops, right?
Oh my god!
Great.
Well, hey, listen, crap, real quick.
Great.
You always start Xbox Nation. What have you been playing? I've got a question for you guys because it's killing me.
I want to hear some harmonica.
A little more harmonica, everybody. It's outstanding, right?
Somebody break that goddamn thing.
Well, Johnny, Johnny, let me just say something to Johnny Werned in the chat. He says, Mooch, I like your shows, guys, but it's funny to see you guys flip the script. Johnny, I don't think you understand. Nothing that's really said. You may hear people's opinions and things like that, but it's really just broadcasting the news and the difference. And then listen, I got news for you guys. Has Xbox changed? Answer this question real quick, everybody in the chat. Has Xbox changed from 2013, 2014 till today?
Yeah.
If anybody can say yes, then anybody anywhere in the chat, on the panel, or anywhere in the world has the right to change their mind.
But that's the thing, Mooch.
So it's not fair to say that they can change, but you can't.
I've never heard that before, Mooch, but you're goddamn right.
Yeah. But that's the thing. They act like we're just completely gonna lead the Xbox community, that's not the case at all.
No,
we just want to see
on
them
Xbox
do better.
We
just want them to do better. We want to see more games that we enjoy, because I know how you and me, Mooch, we kind of like similar games, here and there. I mean, there are some games that you like that I don't, and there's some games that I like that you don't, but for the most part we kind of have the same interests. So it's like, I want to see better games. Like, I want to see games that aren't just multiplayer. I want to see some single player stuff that I can enjoy, that I like playing, and that's all I want to see. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair request.
I go off on a tangent about stuff, but most of the time I'm just trying to make it fun. I'm trying to make a good show. That's it.
Right.
Absolutely. Even if you guys do leave Microsoft per se as consumers, you have the right to do that. And it's not a bad thing. Like this idea that you have to support it regardless. You have to toe that line. You don't have to. You're a consumer. That's the most anti-consumer idea or thought that really, I think at the end of the day, hurts products. It's okay to criticize the things that we love. It's actually quite healthy to do that.
Yeah. That's the whole thing right there. I mean, so that's and I appreciate Crap saying that, recognition of that. That's something I've been thinking about for a while. I'm like, if Microsoft has the right to change, so do you, and so does everybody else. Right. So, I mean, what you liked in 2013 and what they were in 2013, it's changed. And it doesn't mean you don't like it. It just means it's different.
Exactly. So the people that are like, hey, Mooch, Crap, you guys are flip-floppers. Who the fuck is the real flip-flopper? Me, who got an Xbox One because I fucking saw Killer Instinct, Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, Halo, Forza, Dead Rising, Rise. Yeah. I saw these great games and great potential, and I bought an Xbox instead of a PS4.
Yeah.
Then, as we started seeing, they literally stopped new AAA IP. They stopped game creation 1.5 years into the fucking generation. Very unacceptable. Then they changed from wanting to win it to wanting to fucking have their hands in all the pots, right? And then they went from wanting to focus on the console to wanting to focus on PC and streaming. Right, like they're the ones that changed and flip flopped. I think that I want the same shit that I've always wanted: a great box with fair Xbox Live, with that I don't got to worry about cheaters and shit, and amazing games. And that's never changed for me. I've always done that and always wanted that and continue to want that. So I haven't flip flopped. Mooch, you're the man, because you just put that in the words that I was looking for a long time. Yeah. But they're the fucking flip-floppers.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting point. Things have changed. I'll tell you something, guys. This is a great show. I promised everybody we'd end a little bit early, get everybody out on time. It's like 90. We got a 90-degree heat wave here in New York, guys. I'm going to be streaming all weekend.
We call that.
What do we call that?
Fall.
You call that Tuesday.
Yeah, they call that winter in Florida.
We call that living in the desert here.
That's a Tuesday for crap. Yes. We call this hot as hell in New York. That being said, let me go down in reverse order here, and I'll go with Dark Goldblum. Goldblum, thanks for being here tonight, buddy. Outstanding contribution to the show. Let people know where they can find you. There it is.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live and PlayStation at the same name. And you guys can check me out every Saturday on the next podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern with Xbox 448, where it's going to be Doom and Gloom this weekend.
Oh, no, the Doom and Gloom show. We'll all have to tune in for that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Goldblum. And then I've got Enrique. who loves the harmonica, by the way.
Goddamn
Enrique.
That's why I'm here. I'm here for harmonica.
I know. It's the only way to get him on the
play the hell out of
show.
harmonica.
If I ever meet Crap, I'm gonna break it over his head.
I got the no smoking blues.
Hey, Crap.
Yeah.
Crap, real quick, bust the move. He actually did grab this. I was gonna say this too, and he goes, "Oh, this paint sounds like the end of the Rocky Horror. Everybody can change."
If I ever meet Crap, I'm gonna break that harmonica over his 6'5" head.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I would advise.
I like how he said it. He said that so Godfather style.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. So, Enrique, thanks for being here, buddy. Outstanding contributions as well tonight. It wouldn't have been the same show without you, brother. Really great to have you. You know, you're almost like an extension to CrossFire, buddy. I just know you got so much going on with family. I'd have you on every week, buddy, but you always know there's an open invite. Let people know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, you can find me at Brap_podcast on Twitter and the Basement Radio Arcade podcast on YouTube. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a special Brap podcast tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Mod Z. Mod Z, if you guys don't know who he is, he drops a lot of like inside like knowledge on like hardware. We're going to be talking about the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet hardware and what people should potentially expect in terms of performance. So definitely want to check that out.
Hey, we got a last second thing from Onslaught. He says they doubled their studios. Games aren't made overnight, although he spelled made like a maid. Sony announced the Final Fantasy how long ago? Well, Final Fantasy isn't a Sony owned property, by the way. But first of all, they doubled their studios after they tore down and closed down all their studios and canceled their games. And then they bought a lot of studios that were on. They bought a lot of studios that were on their last legs or make like smaller games. Or studios that are stuck making third-party stuff. So don't expect anything from Double Fine anytime soon because they're releasing their games Rad and Psychonauts 2 next year on PS4 as well. Outer Worlds and possibly Outer Worlds 2 could tie up Obsidian for the foreseeable future.
Possibly
in Exile. They're releasing Bard's Tale 4, guys. It's Play Anywhere, and it's coming to Game Pass this year, and then Wasteland 3. Yeah. And they hope to work on that Wasteland franchise for the further 10 years from now. So we got that to look forward to. We Happy Few by Compulsion Games. They're still working on DLC for that before they start something new. So, yeah, I mean, they did get some new studios, and it does take time. But what the fuck were they doing the last 4 years? Didn't they buy Gears of War? Didn't they spend money to get some great content for us on the 360? They couldn't have bought us one fucking new IP in 5 years.
That's what I was wondering. Why not go get
we couldn't get a map. We couldn't get a map pack, a gun, a strike, a fucking anything.
When Sony was dry, they went and they made a contract with From Software. And
I got the no content blues.
Bloodborne still rendered and taken as a masterpiece on the PlayStation side. So
it is.
Would be something. And Xbox, Xbox with no doom and gloom. Xbox, I got to tell you something. Xbox is one of the best people to ever podcast with. He's one of the best people to game with. He's so positive. He has fun. He keeps gaming alive. So Xbox, let everybody know about next tomorrow. And thanks for being here tonight, brother.
Battletoads. Go ahead,
Xbox.
Go ahead.
Oh, his mic went down.
No, dude.
I hear him, but he's low.
As usual, guys.
There he is.
Sorry.
There he is.
That's all right.
As usual, guys, this is the beginning of the Gamers Weekend. So, of course, bring all the excitement, bring all the hype. No doom and gloom on my channel. Saturday.
It's going to be doom and gloom,
Don't
baby.
you guys got Knox on the show, too?
Yeah, we
do.
That dude's definitely doom and gloom. Hey, listen to this. Ivo goes Wasteland 3. ... Wow. I'm so excited.
Yo, shout out to Carlos Torres hitting up that super chat support.
He did. He said Xbox 443. He says still have love for you, bro. See you tomorrow. Carlos is great.
Xbox, nice. You always have the best gameplay, by the way, on your channel.
He does.
Always do. Hands down.
Damn harmonica.
Tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of fire gameplay tomorrow.
Crap,
who the hell is Lethal Snowflake?
I don't know. But listen, I can tell you right now, Crap, I wish you took up the flute. Listen, that being said, Crap, let people know where they can find you, brother.
Crap Gamer Review.
I wish you took up the flute.
Hey, it doesn't look. Hey, our producer busted his computer, so I don't think there's going to be MSC this week.
I'm not sure we're going to have an MSC. It may be a week out because he's getting a new CPU. So
yeah, that's those damn PCs for you, man. You
that Ryzen, man.
Yeah,
I think he's getting one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Guys, that being said, check out Mooch at twitch.tv, the Mooch78. We're going to be streaming all weekend. Enjoy your weekend, guys. We'll do this again next Friday, 7 p.m.
Hey, we're going to play Gears 4 so that we can smoke.
Yes.
Give it a vape, people.
Little vape tomorrow night. We'll catch you guys later. Peace. Good night.